Welcome, Winsome Ones. My name is Heather, and today is the last episode in the book review on How to Break Up with Fast Fashion, written by Lauren Bravo. So this is part 2 of the third part of the book, which is the Rebound. So this is the second rebound. So in this episode today, I am going to be showcasing outfits that I have bought vintage, secondhand items that I've had for quite a while. Some of them are designer, very high end, very high quality, but they are items that were pre-loved before I bought them. So I do hope that you enjoy this last installment of our book review. When we have finished with clothes, we can sell them on. This is a more sustainable alternative than putting them in the bin for them to end up in landfill, and also a more sensible solution than holding onto them and not wearing them. We can also make a bit of money and make some room for more suitable clothes. My go-to online consignment store for pre-loved designer items is The Real. Each item in this outfit is from there. I can't recommend it highly enough. Some other examples include Vestiaire Collective, High Fashion Society, Hardly Ever Worn It, Designer Exchange, Vinted, Spock, Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, and Depop. The pure definition of vintage is an item of clothing that is more than 20 years old. So we are looking at clothes made in the early noughties to qualify for vintage today. Finding this out was a bit confronting for me. I always had this notion that vintage dated back to the 1950s or 60s, 1970s at the latest. You either love vintage or you don't. Lauren and I both get it. We both love vintage. My fashion icons are Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, Grace Kelly, and Jacqueline Kennedy. I am inspired by their looks and interpret their style, but deliberately avoid looking like I am wearing a costume. I wear 1 or 2 vintage items in an outfit, but mix them up with something new. The vintage item might be the statement piece in the outfit, but I intentionally stray from recreating their looks entirely. Fashion is cyclical anyway, and what I find as an observer of style is that the classic items that gave these icons their signature look are always around and always relevant. I look to the high street to inform me as to what is current, but then shop vintage for an alternative. By taking this approach, I can dilute the intensity of the vintage piece. I modernize it with a high street look, but individualize it with a vintage item. Vintage sizing is smaller than it is today. 1960s was the decade of the Twiggy look, so the boyish figures were catered for. Fashion from the 1950s and 70s catered more for women with curves. A workable solution is to either adjust it yourself or take it to the tailor. You're giving this piece a second life. I think of it as the original owner passing it on to me, and I am now the custodian. I will take my time. I will always do a second lap. I will ignore the size on the label. I will be eagle-eyed. I will not expect success every time. I will not shop while premenstrual. Locate the smell. Read or research washing instructions. Fresh air, air it out. Bicarbonate of soda neutralizes acidic components and body odor, or acetic acid and vinegar, activated charcoal, or pop it in the freezer. Save clothes from landfill. Raise funds for social causes. Provide low-cost clothing for low-income people. Offers skills and training for volunteers, is a source of unique items to style your outfits, being rediscovered and experiencing economic growth. can reward you with treasured designer items with the tag still on, can be a pleasant shopping experience with clean items laid out and well curated. All of these are wonderful features of op shops or vintage shops or charity shops. Consignment stores are great for both seller and buyer. It's the middleman. Anywhere in between 30 to 50% of the retail price, pre-loved items. Sellers can earn up to 25% of the original retail price for selling pre-loved. Mine, for example, is merry-go-round. Sustainability in name only. It's a buzzword. Even committing to it is beyond a lot of brands, let alone implementing the initiatives. It's going to take an intentional, collective, grassroots movement to shift the culture towards sustainability. Rewearing clothes by buying pre-loved, mending, adjusting, repairing, and favouring style over fashion. There is a list of many books, websites, documentaries, podcasts to learn more about sustainable clothing. There's also a list of shops, businesses to sell, rent, repair, and donate clothes. I genuinely value style over fashion. My style suits me. What's in fashion doesn't always suit me. I have a girl next door look, so I value finding a way to express my individuality through style and not fashion. Because for me, style is timeless. So there you go. We've come to the end of the book review, this wonderful book, How to Break Up with Fast Fashion. I can honestly say that this has been a life-changing read for me, and I really hope that you have enjoyed it as well. Just so that we can still have style without sacrificing the environment, but similarly, we don't have to sacrifice style in order to help the environment. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. So I do hope that you will join me next week, and I'm going to be showing you what's in and what's out of my wardrobe since I've been doing this book review. I look forward to seeing you then.